I think we might be looking at one of the best years in college basketball in a long fucking time, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I think overall college basketball is sometimes more entertaining than the NBA, but this year it's just something different about it. Um, and I kind of want to get into the reasons of what has changed. Is there a possibility, or is it already here, where the college game of basketball becomes even more entertaining than the NBA? Or they, even though and I think it's a competition or it's something that go tit for tat because they have to work, in sync with each other in almost in some ways. But I really do feel like this has to be the peak of what college basketball was envisioned to be, especially in this NIL era. And as I was thinking, I'm like, dang, what has changed? What is making the college game so much more entertaining and so much more competitive and so much more just even all around? Like for example, bro, I just watched a game during this Thanksgiving week. It's like 15, 16 hours of games a day at this point, which I absolutely love. I just watched a game where Western Kentucky and Vanderbilt went down to the wire. Vanderbilt used to be in the bottom of the SEC, and I didn't even know the Hilltoppers was the mascot of West Kentucky until today. But that just shows you that this day and age, with so many things happening around college basketball, any given day, if you don't go in there with your head on right, even if you're supposed to be the superior team, you can get knocked off. And with the right coaching change, with the right culture shift, with the right personnel, with the right talent that are hitting in so many different places of the world, you can have a really good team. And so here's some of the reasons I'm figuring out why this may be the best year of college basketball that we've had in a really long time. Number one being this is probably the best freshman class that we've had ever. 15, 20 years. Because at one point it used to be like I come from an era where it was like when the freshman was really, really good, they used to all link up and go to one place. Like, remember that year when Calipari won with like pretty much five freshmen on the floor, right? I think the sixth coming off the bench, he kept just retooling freshmen and like getting the best freshmen in the country, right? And now it's like all of these freshmen are spreading out. They're all going different places. They're getting their money from different schools. They're transferring, here and here and here and here and here. And if you come in at the right time, you have a chance to have a really good team, especially depending on if your coach know what he's doing. And this freshman class is probably one of the best I've seen. When you got AJ DeBanza, you got that Koa Peach, you got I can't even, I'm just going blank. It's so the Boozer twins. You got man, you got that kid from Houston. You got bro, it's just so many. You got I'm tripping, my team, right? We got Malik Thomas and you got Darius Acuff. Like it's just so many freshmen in the country where it's just like, bro, it's tough. It's tough. And I think NIL world where a lot of teams are going out to older people is so impressive that the freshman class is one of the headlines when it comes to college basketball. Another thing I'm noticing is that blue bloods aren't just dominating anymore. Yes, they're winning. Yes, you still expecting Duke and the North Carolinas and all these people to be prominent and be one of the best teams in the country. Of course, I'm not saying that. But again, on any given day, those blue bloods can walk into somebody else's house, depending on who they're playing, and lose. There's not a for sure thing where North Carolina and Duke and all these Kansas and all these teams will go play certain people and just beat the shit out of them. You know, any given day these teams can lose, and I love that these teams aren't dodging each other. Like these teams are willing to play each other. North Carolina is gonna play Duke every year. Kansas is gonna be in the mix. Michigan State is gonna be in the mix. Duke gonna be in the mix. All of these teams are now ducking each other. Like right tomorrow, my Arkansas Hogs get to play Duke on Thanksgiving Day. These matchups are happening. Right, Cal built one of the toughest schedules in the country where we're gonna be facing all the Elite Eight teams, like that type of stuff. Nobody's running from anybody, and I love that. I love that. I love that a lot actually. And the Blue Bloods just aren't dominating the league anymore, aren't dominating the college landscape anymore. Any given day, any team can come in and win at the right time with the right system, with the right players, matchups. All those things have to go into effect now, and I think it's just exciting to see. The fact that the talent is so spread out and it's so competitive. I feel like there's a balance to college basketball. There's a balance in the NBA now with the luxury tax. And that's a whole other episode I want to discuss at some point. There's just a balance to the talent that happens around the league now. There is no more, 3 and 4 and 5 star, like 5 stars, 4 of those going to the same school. You don't see a lot of that anymore. And even if you do, another team got 2 or 3 of them too. Or even if they not a freshman 5-star, they were a 5-star when they graduated. Like the talent is just everywhere. And then you see a lot of these dudes come from those mid-majors, those smaller schools, or those schools that you may not even think about. Like right now, Arizona State. You don't hear people talk about Arizona State a lot, even though Hurley is one of the best coaches in the country. Arizona State has this dude on their team, Mo Odom. I've never heard of Mo Odom, and he is a bucket. He averaging 30 right now in the Maui Invitational. Like the talent is just crazy now, and it's really balanced there, man. And every single day you get to discover and hear about dudes you never heard of. The cat from Virginia Tech, that point guard that everybody says reminds them of Luka. Never heard of him, but he's special. And I think that just kind of speaks to my point about the talent just being everywhere and everybody being able to hoop, man. And any given day you can lose, for real. NIL just did something where if you got the bread and the right coaching staff, and especially if you can sell the place where you're going, and the system fits the particular player or it can fit them, you can go anywhere now and pretty much win. You got some money, you can go anywhere pretty much and win. Damn, you can go NIL really balanced the field. No bullshit, man. And I think another big impact of it all is those older kids being able to come back, after leaving the G League and overseas and being professionals overseas. They can come back and play college ball now at 22, 23, 24 years old now, which stirred up a lot of controversy for some of those coaches that believe in developing young talent, which I feel like is a big part of what the college is develop young talent. But because of the money now, I can go get a 22-year-old professional that played overseas that's a bucket. I can go get a 24-year-old guy that was in the G League for 2 years now or 3 years now, and he can come back to college with 2 years of eligibility left. It's that type of shit now. You can play college ball at 26 now. Some people can. So I think that also makes a big deal where a lot of coaches aren't really worried about 18-year-olds anymore. They want grown men because you're going to be playing against grown men. They got families and shit. They out there playing for them NIL deals for their family. And that alone, I think, has just changed the competitive spirit and nature of the game. Where any given night, man, your 18-year-old, 19-year-old has to go guard a 250-pound, 75-pound real man with real grown man strength. It might be a long fucking night. You know what I mean? And I think that has changed a lot. And then last but not least, something I really think has played a pivotal part is these NBA-style offenses and creative minds in these young coaches that are coming up. You see a lot of teams are going younger with their coaching. You don't see a lot of coaches that are super old anymore. You still got Sampson over there, Houston, and a couple of guys like that, that are just really stuck around. Izzo's still around. Bill Self is still around. But that era is kind of dying out, where a lot of younger minds, younger coaching staffs are coming into play and stepping up to these jobs, and with a lot of different creativity and a lot of different ways they do stuff. That's, again, changing the landscape of the game. But when you're playing with dudes that came from overseas and are professionals, and some of these coaches come from overseas or come from other programs or came from the NBA back to the college landscape, they're coming with their own fresh ideas and ways of doing things, and it's making the game overall put out a better product. Where, again, I just said I enjoy watching Western Kentucky play. And that's tough to say. And a coach like that at Western Kentucky that just went to the wire with a top 25 team at Vanderbilt, he's the type of dude that'll get called up next year at one of those bigger schools, those P5 schools, when they notice how he's winning. Right? That's what you love about March Madness, is that you can go to March Madness and from a small school, make a name for yourself, take a big team to the wire or even beat them, and then now you got a job at a Michigan, right? Think about Dusty May. Came from Florida Atlantic, right? He went to the Final Four or some shit like that. Went to the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken, one year. And next thing you know, he getting called up by Michigan. And now he's at Michigan dominating. Young minds, creative minds, ways of I remember he said something so key that really stuck with me. He said, "We don't really run plays. We have sets, we have actions, we have things we do, and we just get so many different things out of those actions." New way of doing basketball, and I think that type of thinking, the access for the older players, the money, this freshman class, the creativity, um, has really made college basketball put out a great product. And I think this is one of the best years in college basketball that I've seen in a long time. And I want to hear what you think. I hope you agree with this. And if you don't, tell me why not. Tell me why the NBA is so much better. Um, I want to hear from y'all on this, man. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment on this video. I sure you enjoyed this episode of Skybox Conversations, man. The pod, we talk about all things hoops. Y'all know my favorite teams: Arkansas Razorbacks, Woo Pigs, Ooh, baby. We're gonna kick Duke ass tomorrow. And my Lakers, man, love them to death. Here we go.